Back in the day, I used to be a lot more forceful in my conversations with people about why they should have a home based business. And the pushback that I often got when having those conversations was that everybody can't have a business. Everybody's not made for that. And I used to always, I would accept it and I would move on because I understood that it's true. Everybody doesn't have a business mindset. But I also understood that nobody has a specific mindset until they actually start working on that mindset. You can change at any course of your life to make the rest of your life the best of your life. But nowadays, with how technology is going, it makes me wonder. I want to ask this question to a lot more people. Why haven't you started a home based business? And I'm afraid that I'll, you know, get those same responses that not everybody can have a home business or a business, period. But then I look at the stats, I look at the recent reports. Like as you can see behind me, it says Verizon is expected to lay off between 13,000 to 15,000 employees in 2026 as part of a significant restructuring plan under the new CEO, Dan Schulman. Now, okay, Verizon is about to do a layoff, but it made me wonder. It made me wonder about those people that might be in the customer service niche or work in customer service all their lives. They work in a call center and they think, hey, this is what I'm good at. If I lose this job, then I'll go find another customer service job in a call center or something like that, right? And then I do more research and I see things like Pinterest, San Francisco based Pinterest announced it would be reducing its workforce by just under 15% and relocating resources to AI focused roles and prioritizing AI powered products. So then I look at that and I say, okay, well, more than likely, that's their customer service department that they're going to start releasing. They won't have a need for that so much because they're going to use AI agents and bots in order to take calls and deal with their customer service. And I think to myself, okay, people are still going to give me the pushback, right? And then I do some more research and I see that it says UPS, the delivery company, announced it would cut up to 30,000 operational jobs as it moved to reduce the number of Amazon deliveries it handles. Okay, so if you drive, possibly, you could be losing your job also due to layoffs. And then I look further. Now, this right here hit closer to home because just a few minutes ago, I actually called my cell phone provider, which is T-Mobile, and I wanted to do an insurance claim on one of my phone lines. Now, I found out two things. Now, one, it's kind of crazy. The line that I was going to do a claim on, I see online that it shows that I don't have insurance on that line. I never remember removing that. I've been paying for insurance on that line for probably over a decade. But that's one story. But then another story was the reason why I had to call was because I've placed insurance claims online before, but for some reason, things didn't seem the same. So I decided, let me call and get a live person. But I found that I wasn't even able to get to a live person. All I got was an AI chatbot. And then once when it couldn't understand what I was really asking for, it disconnected the call. So that's what prompted my research. And then I see this. T-Mobile has announced a series of layoffs affecting nearly 400 employees across various locations in Washington state. The layoffs are permanent and are part of the company's evolution, with the intention of making changes while continuing to hire to ensure the right focus, structure, and momentum. Sounds like they're moving in a similar direction as a lot of companies, right? And then I look over here. I do a little bit more research because, you don't want to just stop at one thing. It might sound like a fluke that maybe this is just happening to a couple of companies. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm, not in the right state of mind. Then I see here, it says Amazon The company announced on January 28th that it's cutting roughly 16,000 jobs in its latest round of mass layoffs for the tech company in 3 months. This latest reduction in staff comes after the tech giant slashed about 14,000 white-collar jobs in October 2025. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. We just read about how UPS is cutting the jobs due to, reducing the number of Amazon deliveries it handles, right? So would be understandable. One company slashes based on another company. Sounds about right, right? Then I see Nike. The company is cutting 775 jobs that will primarily impact jobs at the retailers' distribution centers in Tennessee and Mississippi as the company looks to automate more of its supply chain. When I hear the word automate, that triggers AI in my mind once again, right? And then we have Meta. Meta announced its plan to cut over 1,000 jobs from its Reality Labs division as it shifts its investment away from metaverse products. Okay, so we're looking at a range of companies, a range of positions. And I find it pretty funny that I can possibly tell people about this. And when I tell them about, hey, maybe you should start a home-based business or a job that you can't be fired from, which is your own personal home-based business, they might hit me with something like, not everybody can have their own business. My question is this: can everybody afford to be laid off? Maybe you can answer that question for me. See you guys in the next video.